Neutralized. One priority target remaining.
Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my test subject raw DPS build for TU12. We're talking max crit chance, 200 crit damage on a tiny little AR with big base damage and a talent to match. So, as always, I hope you enjoy and find these videos helpful. If you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future Division content if you are new to the channel. You can hit me up on Twitter and be sure to drop a comment down there below. So, let's get into this. Alright everyone, and here it is. So as you can see up top there, I am still going to be using that firewall specialization simply because I am still going to be using this Striker Ballistic Shield. It gives you that extra damage bonus per enemy in front of you, and on a build like this, that is all damage, damage, damage. That extra 10% per enemy in front of you is just the cherry on top. I have been loving it. Also, as soon as you pop your shield, it is going to proc in sync or perfectly in sync, and your damage numbers are going to skyrocket from there. So to me, they kind of go hand in hand. So, on to the core attributes here. We have 6 reds, 0 blue, 0 yellow. The minor attributes, we have 12 reds, 0 blue, 0 yellow. And I know I'm going to catch some flack for this because I don't have any armor or armor regen or skilled tiers, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, guys. I love my red builds. I love my DPS builds. There's definitely a place for them in the game. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of people on Facebook asking, how do I get my crit chance damage up? You know, new players coming to the game asking, how do I get raid ready? Things like that. Hopefully, something like this will help you out, and it will reach those people, because let's be honest here, we're not going to run in on Buddy and Lucy with a turret and some seeker mines. It's just not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. I've never seen it done that way. I've never heard it done that way, and if you try it that way, you're probably going to get booted, or have a nice talking to. It is what it is, guys. So definitely has a place. Pick your shots right, and you'll be doing just fine. 726,000 armor, 331,000 health. Nothing too crazy. We're definitely squishy. That's why I put unbreakable on there. And again, just use cover and pick your shots wisely, and you'll be doing just fine. So other than that, let's get on to these weapons. Alright, so onto my primary weapon. It is the Test Subject Assault Rifle. I freaking love this thing. I really do. Big damage, small package. 123,000 per bullet base damage on this little tiny micro assault rifle. I feel like I'm going to break this thing. Regardless, you got 700 RPM with 50 in the mag. Our attributes are not too bad. They could be a little bit better, but it's still putting in numbers. But the talent is definitely where it's at. But before we get into that, let's contrast it here really quick with the Eagle Bearer. You got 123.2k per bullet compared to 123. I have to say that's pretty good, guys. So if you haven't tried this weapon, definitely give it a shot. But again, the talent is definitely where it's at. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So you want to be able to have those two both active at the same time for as long as possible, right? And I have a little trick for you on that. One, we know as soon as you pull out the shield, that's going to proc and sync because you are using a skill. But if you want to keep it going for a long time, try out a striker drone, because this thing, as soon as it targets another NPC and lands a shot, it reprocs your in sync for you. It's that simple. So this thing has a duration of 216 seconds, and it can hit a lot of NPCs. All it says on in sync is that you must do damage to an NPC. It doesn't say how much you have to do, because it's not doing a lot of damage. It's simply to proc that in sync for you. Keep that thing going as long as possible so that you get the double damage. That's where it's at right there. That's when you'll see the biggest increase. So hopefully that helps you out, guys. Now let's get on to these gear pieces. Okay, so let's start out right here with the mask. It is Fenris. We get that plus 10% assault rifle damage just for wearing it. We have some pretty good attributes on here. Weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and we have a crit damage mod. Pretty straightforward on that. All red everything. Now moving on to the chest piece, it is Providence. We have the 3-piece active, giving us that plus 15% headshot damage, plus 10 crit hit chance, and plus 15% crit hit damage as well. Now the attributes got pretty lucky as well. Got some weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage with another crit hit damage mod. I mean, pretty straightforward on that. And I went with Unbreakable. When your armor is depleted, repair 95% of your armor. The cooldown is 60 seconds. This at least gives you something to fall back on, since we are all red. We don't have any armor or anything like that. As soon as this pops, I typically will fall back, kind of reassess where the NPCs are, you know, who gave me that damage, you know, if there's a sniper or something like that, you know, and then, you know, if you need to, hit an armor kit, so on and so forth, and, you know, just keep on going. But I usually kind of just use it as like a barrier, like a chin check, more or less. If this breaks, you kind of check yourself and see where you're at and why you're taking damage. That's all I do, and it's been working out great. So moving on to the holster, it is also Providence. It's all maxed out. We got weapon damage, crit chance. I mean, pretty straightforward on that. Onto the knee pads, they are Grupo Sombra. We get that plus 15% crit hit damage just for wearing them. Got some pretty good rolls on there as well. Almost god roll. We got weapon damage, crit chance. I mean, again, pretty straightforward on that. Onto the gloves, they are Seska. We get that plus 10% crit hit chance for wearing them. Weapon damage, crit chance. I think you guys are kind of getting the vibe for it, right? Moving on to the backpack, it is Providence. It's almost god rolled. I mean, it's 0.8 away. I really wish I could get a better one, but, you know, we're splitting the hairs at this point. Got weapon damage, crit chance with a max crit damage mod on there with Vigilance. This is where it's at for me, guys. I absolutely love this talent. Increases total weapon damage by 25%. 25%. That is huge. Taking damage disables this buff for a whole 4 seconds. Woo, 4 seconds. And then you get it back. No big deal. So, again, use it as a chin check. If you start taking damage and this gets, you know, procced, or unprocced, I'm sorry, you know, check and see where the damage is coming from. Wait a second and then start firing again. It's that simple, guys. 25% damage up. So awesome. I've been loving it. So other than that, let's get on to these skills. Okay, so on to the skills. I'm going to get through this as quick and painlessly as possible, guys, I promise you. Just really quick, I want to throw something out there. If I was going into the raid, per se, I would definitely swap these out. I would swap that shield for a reviver hive, the blue hive that gets you up if you go down. That way you don't have to call your buddy over from the corner to come and pick you up. And it's just a nice thing to do. It's the nice thing to do, guys. It is what it is. Now, moving on to the drone there. I would probably swap that drone out for a turret for the simple fact that the NPCs will aggro that turret. They do not like it. And if they turn their back on you, I mean, it's prime target. You shoot them in the back, you take them down, nice, clean, easy, and you keep on moving. So other than that, if I'm not in the raid, I'm going with the Striker Ballistic Shield because, again, that damage bonus per enemy in front of us. The buff range is only 10 meters, so again, you have to get a little bit close, but that's usually when you actually need your shield, right, is when they're a little bit close to you. Cooldown 18.2 seconds, and the health 1.49 million. So this thing is going to break. It is going to break. But as long as you get that burst damage, that damage bonus up, and, you can knock out, an NPC or two with it, hey, it is what it is. You'll get it back in 18 seconds. Not a big deal. Now, moving on to the Striker drone. Again, I already talked about this a little bit with InSync, but the only reason I'm using this is simply to keep InSync procced as long as possible. Every time this targets another NPC and starts shooting at them, it reprocs your InSync for you because it is damaging a NPC, and it's pretty straightforward on that. You get your InSync for 216 seconds if the thing doesn't get popped, and if it does, you get it back in 22 seconds. So pretty straightforward on that, guys. Now let's run off to the stat sheet. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little recap breakdown here on the stat sheet. Now again, the weapon talents that I'm going to be using on my primary weapon, perfectly in sync. I love that weapon. The test subject is amazing. Definitely try it out if you have not already. On my secondary, we have Eagle Strike Tenacity on my Eagle Bear, Preservation on my sidearm. You have some high octane gasoline mixture to play with. I mean, hey, that's always a good time. As far as weapon stats go, we're talking 122.9 per bullet base damage, 60 crit hit chance with 200.5 crit hit damage. That's pretty good right there, I'd have to say. And we get 90% headshot damage. So if you smack him in the face, it's going to hit him that much harder. Gotta love that right there. We don't have any armor damage, which was kind of a bummer. But other than that, we have some health damage. So as soon as that armor bar is gone, it's game over for him. The range, 28 meters. 28 meters out of this little mini thing. I mean, I didn't expect that at all, but hey, I'll take it. 2.2 second reload time. Click, clack, you're going again. Got some accuracy, stability, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too crazy going on there. Now, as far as offense goes, we're talking 99.2 all-weapon damage bonus and 38.6 assault rifle damage bonus. So I'd have to say we're doing pretty good there. Now, as far as the gear talents go, I went with Vigilance and Unbreakable. If you wanted to, you could always go with Glass Cannon or something like that, or, whatever. Just, think outside the box, think of what fits your playstyle and give it a shot. What can it hurt? Now, moving on to the brand sets, it is a 3-piece Providence, 1-piece Seska, 1-piece Grupo, 1-piece Fenris. I mean, pretty straightforward on that. Nothing too crazy to go out and farm. As far as defense goes, we're talking 726,000 armor, got a little bit of max health, a little bit of health on a kill, health regen, blah, blah. Nothing too crazy going on here. Little tiny bit of resistance down here from my watch, and that's about it. We've already kind of gone over the skills, so I believe that's it, guys, and I hope you all enjoyed. I will catch you on the next one.